Check, check. Cool, all right. Welcome, race fans. Round 3, Spec-D. Right now we're just announcing the qualifying orders. And since I will tell you guys here, we got qualifying number 1, we got Conroy Ganson in the Zestino Tires FD RX7. And number 2 place, we've got Norm Burwash in the Sherwood Park Nissan V8 S13. In 3rd place, we've got Chad Sager in the Sherwood Nissan SR20 powered S13. And in 4th place, we've got John Bernstad in the Zestino Tires FD RX7. Followed by Aaron Day in 5th place with the Triple S Motorsports Wheels Plus S14.5 2J power. 6th place is Ryan Drutz in his orange S14 V8. Doing real good tonight. And then 7th place we have Ryan Gertzma in the red Ford Mustang. In 8th place, we have Marco Tassoni. He's doing very good today. And 9th place is Jason Delahy in the R32 LSX. Also, sorry, Marco was in a 180SX of the blue color. Colin Kostyuk is 10th place with his Wheels Plus RX8 with V8 power. Pat Fontaine in the E46 M3 Supercharged, 11th place. Colton Curtis in the Fox Body Mustang, got a 12th place finish. In 14th place, Chris Coots in his Safiro V8 powered Beast. In 15th place, we have Justin Dube in the red 240SX V8 powered S13. And in 16th place we have Nathan Borodaka in the Nissan Laurel with Toyota 1J powered. And that's our top 16. Thank you to the viewers at home listening to this broadcast. We're coming at you live right now from Castrol Raceway, where it's a beautiful evening, sunsetted. We got the lights on. Ready for some skid action. First up today is going to be Conroy Ganson, number 1 qualifier, against number 16 qualifier, Nathan Borodaka. All right, looks like we're about ready to send it here. It's a nice night out here. Got the planes flying above us. Somewhere. Just a reminder to everybody, if you're listening at home, that we do have a Pro-Am final for the year on August 17th. It is the round 3. where all the amateur drivers get together. That's a Thursday night, just like a regular practice. And we all go out there and ham it and do our best and put on a good show for everybody. I suggest you come out if you couldn't make it today. And on August 20th, we have the Drift for the Kids with Tasquin International Raceway. That's from 12 to 4 p.m. And also we'll be out at Driven, underground parking, for the meet there at McEwen on August 19th. I believe that starts at 1 p.m. Also, sorry for no introduction, but Tony Kosh is unfortunate will not be having his voice on this mic today, as he's doing the announcements over for the grandstands. And it's just too far distance. So you have me, Michael Bourgeot, on your mic today. We got Marco Tassoni going down, just warming his car up. Currently in our rookie standings, for your information, we have number 1, we have Nathan Bordaka at 129 points. And number 2, we have Cole O'Connell at 121 points. Unfortunately, Cole O'Connell is not here today, so we cannot build on those. But number 3, we have Ryan Gertzman at 120 points. Followed by in 4th place, we have Colton Curtis at 115. 5th place, Marco Tassoni at 72. Earlier in practice, we've seen a lot of drivers battling it out, trying to figure out the course. We've had some upsets. Some people have gone home a little early. Some people had to frantically work on their car to get it back together after some wall tap action. Today we're running a kind of backwards course. I don't know if you want to say it like that, but we're going to starting from going west out of the crash alley. They're initiating at the break between the 2 roads here, and they're initiating and following up through this tight hairpin where one of our cameras are stationed, where they will manji down the straight and then come and tag the outer clipping zone on the grass, followed by the other clipping zone at the beginning of the sweeping corner, and shutting it down after the corner. The main judge points are basically in the center of the course, the main sweeper not being heavily judged, and the entry also not being heavily judged. But should be a good evening. We've had a few drivers come out and unfortunately not make it. I would like to mention them. Chris Gonzalez having troubles, not being able to make it tonight. But, he drove all the way here from somewhere really far, I believe. And it was nice to see him out here. Also, Chris Verdisic, I don't know if I say his name right, sorry. In the G35 LS Supercharged. He happened to tag a wall in practice that sent to the front of his car back into the wall after the back end touched, putting his wheel into his fender. So he's done for the night. Also another little mishap was Justin Dube. He, in practice, went face first just after the initiation area into some concrete and pushed his bumper rebar into his power steering cooler. So he's no longer running his power steering, but he's running the event still, so he made it through. That's good. The Drift Amigos, Cody Hury, was not able to make it. After putting down some practice runs, his car was deemed unfit to continue on by himself, I believe. Which I also must add, they host their own events down in Medicine Hat. Just for your information. Sean Hardam out today. Unfortunately, he's having transmission problems, so he's unable to run for the event. Let's see. Oh, looking good. Everyone's running real good today. It's going to be a good event. Stay tuned for the live stream. Coming at you live from Castrol Raceway. All right, we got our first two going. We got Conroy Ganson versus Nathan Borodaka. Nathan Borodaka and Chase coming through really nicely, really clean. Everybody's following each other very nicely. Can't see through the smoke. Conroy putting down a solid run with Nathan Borodaka behind him. Solid run from them too. Got Conroy Ganson in his Zestino tires, FDRX7 for cruising motors and Lang's shop for body work. Conroy builds all these cars for the team, the Zestino tires FD team. And we got the privateer himself, Nathan Borodaka, doing what he can out here. Unfortunately, I hear he's having some e-brake issues, unable to help him extend his drift. But should be a good chase battle when they get back here. Oh, Nathan Borodaka with a spin on the entry and the hairpin. Conroy missing him. It's going to be a 0 for Nathan. We're just finishing out the run right now. It was a hard-fought battle. I'd like to thank the sponsors at this time, Zestino Tires Canada, Kubota, and Sherwood Nissan Parts, for making this round possible. We have 2 more rounds left in the season, so make sure if you miss this round that you come for the next 2, because we would love your support, and we know you love drifting. Guys warming up their tires right now. All right, next up we have Marco Tassoni versus Jason Delahy. Marco with the entry. Jason Delahy following, stumbling a little bit, coming around the hairpin. Jason on his ass. Marco with the straighten. The rest of the guys following through on their runs. As you guys, you can see a beautiful night tonight. Not a cloud in the sky. All right. There we go. We're watching the replay here. We got some sideways actions of different angles. Both blue cars putting out smoke. Looking real good. Looking real good. Except for here you can see Marco shooting a little bit wide. Stop him drifting. And then waiting for the opposite run of Marco and Jason Delahy. Jason will be leading and Marco will be chasing in this run. Marco qualified 8th, and Jason qualified 9th, so they're both pretty evenly paired. We'll see how they go on this run here. Jason powering out with a big LSX. Flicks it in. The boys are bringing it around. Marco with the straight in. Delay, he's making it through there. And finishing the rest of the course, there's Jason in the lead. Pretty good runs from both guys. We'd like to see a little more commitment, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. For anybody that thinks this is an easy sport, just know there's concrete on each side. And it's pretty difficult when you're navigating at about 85 kilometers per hour entry speeds. We've got a replay coming up here for you boys and ladies here. There we go. Look at that super slow-mo action. Jason, if you might notice, in the back of his car, he's got some damage on there. Earlier in practice, he put it in the back of the hairpin wall. Just going back into that. But very good. So as they delegate who moves on, I'll let you guys know that we have Aaron Day, who qualified 5th, up against Colton Curtis, who is qualified number 12. Seeing who's moving on here in a second. Oh, we got some time here. I got some cliff notes. So if you don't know how the tandem points work, first place event winner gets 100 points. Second place ends up getting you 88 points. Third place gets you 78. Fourth with 69. If you get 5th to 8th place, you get a 61. And anything below, so 8th to 16th, gets you a 54. Also, if you want to do some quick math for you guys at home, I want to see how the point systems work for qualifying. If there's 20 drivers, first place driver will get a full 20 points, where the last place driver will get 1 point. So if there's 16 points awarded for the first place qualifier, 1 point for the last place. I'm sure you guys get it now. Marco Tassoni with his SSS Motorsports, Zestino Tires Canada, G-Spec suspension, 180SX versus Jason Delahey in his AFR Zestino Tires R32. Jason Delahey moves on with Marco Tassoni doing his loser burnout. Give him a hand at home. He spent a lot of time and money getting his car back out here today. All right, up next we have the battle of Aaron Day versus Colton Curtis. Aaron Day in his 2JZ powered S13.5 and Colton Curtis in his Dream Team Tweakers Fox Body Mustang. and staged up. All right, sounds like cars are moving. All right. We have John Bernstad and Connor Chura. I guess we'll see the Aaron and Colton race a little bit. There we go, very good run. Some fire out the back of that whip. That was awesome. All right, we got a replay for y'all. You see. All right, here you can see John Bernstad initiating that first part to the hairpin. Connor Chura behind, looking like he's understeering slightly. John looking really good out front. It's actually kind of hard to navigate that blind corner while going uphill and trying not to dirt drop your whole car into the field here. John with a very nice line. So next up we'll be seeing Connor Chura leading John Bernstad. Connor in his S13, SR20 powered S13, I guess. John Bernstad in his FDRX7s, Zestino tires, Lang's Body Shop, and 4 Cruisin' Motorsports. Here we go. And it appears we got one car only coming down here. Maybe there's a problem with Connor. Maybe this is just a victory lap, cool down lap. Loud car indeed. Hear them miles away. These rotary engines, they put out a pretty loud noise. You'll always know when you hear one driving. Shooting some fire for you, everybody at home. All right, by the sounds of it, we got a V8 up next. Perhaps this will be the run of Aaron Day and Colton Curtis. Ah, we're right. Okay, we got Colton Curtis, Aaron Day, Aaron leading, Aaron initiating, flicking it towards the wall. Colton Curtis following, coming around the hairpin. Both drivers making it around the hairpin. Initiating e-brake drag by Aaron. Colton Curtis straightens. Aaron finishing it off. All right. Very good. All right. So, perhaps we will see the second half of John Bernstad and Connor Chura. Figure out what's going on there shortly. The replay here for you guys. You can see Aaron initiating like a boss, up against the wall. Connor in the background following him. Sorry, that was Colton. My bad. Very good. Don't you just love this slow-mo? Slow-mo's the best. Sounds like we're off with Aaron Day chasing Colton Curtis. Colton Curtis with the e-brake initiation, swings it around, comes real close to the wall, bring it around. Aaron Day following around the hairpin. Coming up to the Manji switch. Colton getting real close, straightens, making Aaron Day confuse himself and straighten himself, but cars are making it around the last part of the course here. Very good, very good. We got the slow-mo. Colton Curtis in the lead here. Getting real close to the fans, as you can see here. This is a beautiful night. Everyone should be out. We're missing you all at home. Next time, hopefully you can hear this live. There we go. You can see Colton Curtis straightens up a little bit here. Aaron Day's trying to navigate around him. Nowhere to go. Again, brought to you by Zestino Tires Canada, Kubota, and Sherwood Park Nissan Parts. Without them today, we couldn't be here. We appreciate our sponsors very much. Also, again, don't forget, August 20th, Drift for the Kids, Wetaskiwin International Raceway. Driven August 19th in Kewen Underground Parking. And before that even is the Bro-Am event this Thursday coming up, August 17th. We will see many drivers compete at the racetrack on the pad. This should be a good night. That starts at about 5:30. Cars are qualifying about 6:30 that day, with competition starting around 7:38. Everybody runs one single run, so it's instant knockout, no second chances. And we're going one more time with the decision with Colton Curtis and Aaron Day. Got the one more time coming. Colton Curtis in chase. Aaron Day in lead. Aaron Bray e-brakes. Initiates. E-brakes again. Coming around the hairpin. Colton's following. Loud noises. Lots of loud noises here. Aaron Day linking the course like a boss. Colton following. Struggling a little bit. Aaron putting on a large gap. We'll see how Colton's next run is. And that's the name of the game at drifting. Anything goes. Takes one slip up and the whole game changes. The boys over at Triple S Motorsports working hard to get Aaron's car going. Seems like he's always having some issues, but today he's out full force, ripping hard. As you can see in our slow-mo here, them going up the hairpin. Following through the Manji straight. You can see a bit of a gap being put on. Aaron lighting up that e-brake. Lined up, so we'll see Colton Curtis leading Aaron Day. Add the beautiful live stream team here putting through some real clear imagery for you fellas at home. Big shout out to them for coming out here and slaving through all these mosquitoes. Alright, here we go. Colton initiating, running the wall. Aaron Day in tow, making up the upwards hairpin. Aaron closer in the chase than Colton was. Getting on him. Colton's looking really good. Getting around that last sweeper. And that is Colton and Aaron. So I'll get you guys a slow-mo here in a second. And here you can see Colton initiating, doing a great job getting that car out there. Aaron in tow. Coming close to the outer limits of this hairpin, actually. sweeping back around. You can see. Sounds like we got some loser burnouts happening. I don't want to say it was Colton, but it sounds like Aaron Day moves on. Connor Churin leading John Bernstad. This might be the second race, or this might be a do-over if there was a mistake. Connor Chura bobbling up the straightaway. Looks like he's tapping out almost. John Bernstad avoiding any possible contact. Something maybe up with Connor's car. Got all the smoke. Look at all that smoke billowing everywhere. It's hitting us in the face over here. Let's look at the replay here. What do we got? All right, you see Connor Chur with the initiation going to a bit of understeer and straightens up around the bank. John's in tow, slows down because he doesn't really understand what's happening here. Notices that he's still not drifting, but Johns continues to follow through with this. Straight for the rest. Norm Burwash in the distance, heating up his tires, it appears. Norm Burwash is a Sherwood Park Nissan driver with the V8 variety for power. Getting darker out here. Lighting's providing an optimal amount of visibility. It must be hard for the drivers to navigate through some of these darker areas here, but they're putting on a great show tonight. It's a good thing they still have headlights, because without it, they might be a little challenged around that last sweeper. Cars away. Now we have Norman Burwash up against Jason Good. Is that Jason suffering the power steering problem earlier on? Both drivers bobbling around that hairpin. This could be anyone's game. Yes, this is just a bit of an untidy run here. Let's see what we have in store for the next run. Going back to a slow-mo for you gents at home, and ladies also, sorry. You can see the drivers both stumbling when they come up here. Norm with the straighten. Same with Jace, Justin, yeah. Justin, yes, that was correct. Justin with the bubble. So we have the drivers changing positions now with Justin leading and Norm Burwash chasing. We'll see if they can manage to put on a better run here. All right, and the cars are off. Here we go, coming down the main straight. We got Justin leading, Norman behind him. E-brake, slide, back and forth, a little bit of bobble, coming up the hairpin. Norm with a big straight and Justin with a bit of a straight and also on the straight here. Fairly untidy runs from both these drivers. We'd like to see better from them, but you know, this is the name of the game. Anything goes. Sometimes you get it, sometimes it's a bit tough to stick it. Going back to our beautiful tire view here of the hairpin. And got a slow-mo replay here for you fellas. You can see them bobbling up in here. You can see Justin with the missing headlight from his earlier contact with the concrete wall there. Coming around. Norm straightens like he's just driving. He's just out for a Sunday drive right now. There we go. I'm trying to go back and get her back into formation. Both drivers a little untidy. We'd like to see better, but hey, it's okay, guys. That's the way she goes. They still sent it for you guys at home. Perhaps we could both see one more time because both these runs were equally untidy. We'll see what the judge's decision is. Judge is delegating. Both a lot of straight-ins from both drivers. It's while we're waiting, we can have another replay of that last run here. Justin with the broken headlight, you can see, and Norman Chase with his V8, much later initiation, dragging it through, stumbling up. Justin continuing his drift through and straightening, while Norm is straight beforehand. Drivers aren't docked very much from their straightens along the Manji area between the hairpin and the sweeper because some cars are lower power and it's harder for them to link it. So we're not going to judge them too hard, but sounds like cars are revving up their engine for the next run. The anticipation is killing us to find out who won that last round if we're moving on. Meanwhile, we got Colin Kostyuk in the background warming up the RX-8's tires. He also had a good wall tap in the same place that, what's his face? Chris Radisic. I might have pronounced that wrong. Sorry if I did. In the G35 supercharged vehicle, he unfortunately again tapped the back of the wall with the back left quarter of his car, sending the front into the concrete barriers, pushing his wheel into the fender. But here we go. We got the drivers back up and they're running here. Who we got Ryan Gertzma versus Colin. Ryan in lead, coming around much tighter than the last run. Very nice run. Ryan's pretty consistent driver getting out there. Very good lead run for Colin. And Ryan's such a consistent driver that you can feel very confident in getting close up to him, as Colin did. You guys, a little throwback action in slow-mo now from this past run. Got Ryan up against the wall, running that max limits there. Coming around the tires nice and tight. Optimal line here. Pushing it out to that to that last cone you can see there. Gives you optimal swing around range for the Manji to be able to link that sweeper. So we'll be changing up the positions with Colin in the lead. Ryan Gertzma in the chase position. We'll see how they go. All right, here we go. We have Ryan in the lead. Colin chasing. No, other way around. My bad. Colin leading. Ryan chasing. There it goes. Straight and big straight. And coming back around the Manji. Colin getting really close to the wall there. Ryan doing what he can to keep up. Pretty good run from both. I'd have to say that first run was much cleaner. There we go. Zoom back in time for you fellas in slow-mo. There we go. We got Colin swinging that back end around, getting real close to that wall there. Ryan chasing him down the best he can, getting around the tires and the hairpin. You can see the e-brake drag coming around there. Yeah, the boys coming around. Look at them go. Silly skid racers wasting all them tires. You can use them. They're just go and burn them off. So while we're waiting, we got Marco Tassoni up here. What happened on your runs there? What are you doing over here? Why aren't you in your car?
So on my lead run against Jason Delahaye, the car felt a little odd. It was definitely misfiring, but I thought I still had it under control. I came out of the first hairpin. I was on the rear zone, like it felt good, and he kind of just passed me on my inside. And like to my knowledge, I thought that the only way you could pass another driver is if they go offline, spin, or shut it down. So once he passed me, I was kind of, I just kind of got back on it, obviously. And then judges told me that the ruling on that one was just a 0-0, that both him and I got a 0-0, and they judged us on the second run alone, which I lost. So I'm sitting over here, but excited for round 4. It's going to be a good one.
All good. Thank you, Marco. It was really great having you here, making it out to this run. Hang around and keep the mosquitoes away from me. Let them bite you. All right, next up we got, let's see, we got the one more time run against Norm Burwash and Justin with the spin. Norm finishing off his run, taking out all the grass. With a nice little e-brake drag. We're going to flash back in time in slow motion again for you guys. You can see Justin just not quite cutting it there, spinning out. Norm finishing off that hairpin with some sweet sparks. Hopefully that wasn't his radiator touching. Coming around, dropping some tires, putting up some dirt in there. Coming and swinging it back around. And there you go. Second run for their OMT. We have Justin in the lead. Norm Burwash chasing. Coming around. Justin's car is hard to navigate without any power steering. Well, it was a close call. Justin doing very good this season. Unfortunate for his power steering woes. We're going to go back in time here again for you fellas. Show you some hairpin action. Oh man. As you See now, it's pretty dark out. We got the replay showing up here. Norm Burwash moving on, but you can see car going wide. Not sure where to go. Everyone's just picking a line here, but just easy. You can tell everything's kind of getting shut down. Justin's trying his hardest, fighting with his car. Hopefully he can get it up for the next round. Awesome fighting by him. I can only assume Norm is moving on. Although we got Justin doing his loser burnouts. Getting the rest of his tires off before he packs up. Look at that giant cloud he's making. Vape much? There's some cars somewhere around there. Hopefully we'll be able to see where they're going for the next round here. Norm moving on to best 8. Now, I thought I had a proper qualifying and run bracket here, but it's kind of a bit out of place, so we'll see who we're up next against. Maybe Ryan versus... who knows? Well, we got Colin Kostiuk. It appears against Ryan Gertzma. Oh, Ryan getting right up against that wall. Oh, Colin spins. Almost holds it. That's still going to be a big deduction. He doesn't go all the way around with Ryan pulling around. Colin sitting in second place right now with current score of, what is it, 183. So that's going to definitely hurt a little bit if he doesn't move on. And this is the name of the game, drifting. Anybody can win. All you got to do is show up and turn a steering wheel and hope to God nothing else happens. Here we go in the slow motion. We can see Ryan getting real close to the wall. Unfortunately, Colin hairpin getting too much for him. You can see Ryan following through good here, picking a good line, extending his drift so he can throw it up against the wall to enter into the last sweeper. Still drifting live here, getting through the top 16. It's 10:15. Pulling an all-nighter for you people at home. All right, next up, we got Colin leading, Ryan in chase. All Ryan has to do is just make this run. Follow Colin the best he can, and he will be moving on, it appears. Can't say anything, I'm not a judge. But if I had to judge, I'd have to say that's how this run's going to be going. Another big shout out to our awesome live stream team here, throwing everything down. You don't know what kind of work this is until you see these people working. We got the slow-mo, we got Colin in the lead, Ryan chasing. Mad sideways, Colin with the mad sideways, and well, Ryan's a little lacking angle, but they're not judging too hard in this part here. All you got to do is make it through without getting all your tires off the ground, without straightening the whole thing, and that will land you with some pretty good advantage. No. Got the next car lighting up some tires, getting ready for their run. Let's see if we can get in some slow-mo action here. Never mind, I am behind. I've already done it. But I bet you'd like to see it again, wouldn't you? Of course. Let's see if I can end up hearing who moves on. We'll see. We'll be able to tell by loser burnouts, hopefully, here. Yes, they're preserving their tires. Yes, here's Orion is moving on from the apparent smoke coming from the RX-8. It was a hard-fought battle. Colin was putting down some aggressive runs today. He also had an occurrence with the wall, and he managed to get his car back together just in time. But here we go. We have the next duo up. Got Chad Sager initiating with Chris Kutz behind him, lagging. Got a strong clutch kick from Swagger. Chris just falling behind. His Safiro V8 power needs some more ponies, it looks like. Chad Sager with just a little SR20. These things are the equivalent to a puny Civic engine these days compared to what's out here. You can see Swagger swagging his way into the course. You can see the tires straighten a little bit, trying to get around those tires in the hairpin. Followed by a delay of Chris Kutz with his Safiro lagging behind. Doing the best he can to catch up, whatever ground he can, before Swags enters the last part of the racetrack here. All right, looks like we have our drivers rolling out again. Autobots, roll out. All right. Chris Kutz with the e-brake entry straightens. Chad Swagger with not much room to go, trying to navigate. Bobbles by both drivers. Good entry into the last sweeper. And they're finishing off their runs. Anybody's game. Chad looking a little stronger than Chris was. But we'll go back to a replay here so you can see some hairpin action in slow-mo. Chris on the brakes. You can tell by the brake strip right there. He is on the brakes. Same with Chad. He got up against the wall. Looks like he almost ran on the wall. I don't know if he's got concrete marks on the side of his car now, but definitely looks like he does. Both guys making it up the hairpin. Coming to the Manji area. Chris with a straight. Both Chad also just going for the next initiation around the sweeper. All right, looks like we got Patrick Fontaine. Yeah, that's it. Patrick Fontaine with the AFR tuned and built white, gray, and whatever shade of E46 M3 he's planning to make up here. Hopefully one day he'll make it all one color, but hey, this is drifting. We like bashed up cars. And colorful ones that are clean. We like it all. He's running a supercharger on that M3 with the M3 S54 B32 engine. We'll be having Ryan chasing Delhi. Right. Sorry. I might have messed that up. Earlier, taking out both corners of his car. See what he does here. Ooh, getting real hairy. He just really wants to take out that front corner of his car now. A little bit untidy run from both drivers. We'll see how they do making around the rest of the run. Pat getting close to that wall, coming around that sweeper. Slow-mo replay coming at you. looking like he was going to go face first into the wall. Saves it. Thank God. That's a beautiful orange car, and he just finished building it this season, so we wouldn't want to see anything happen to it. Got Pat chasing him behind. It's anybody's game. There's a pretty good straight in there. Who knows? It's all up to this next run. All right. Ryan Drutz. Ryan Drutz leading. Pat Fontaine in his AFR tune built white and gray E46 M3. Ryan Drutz in the orange wrapped V8 S14. Chasing him down. Little squirrely on entry. Oh, almost getting the wall both times on initiation. This is anybody's game by this. Pat looking pretty strong in the second half of this run. Ryan trying to catch up the best he can. By the looks of it, this will be the last pair for our top 16. We'll be moving into the top 8 after this. Our slow-mo coming at you. You can see the drivers here trying to navigate that first entry part. Almost taking out Ryan Drutz. He's got a hate on for these concrete walls, I think. Almost getting this next one here. You can see fat Pat. No, I'm just kidding. He's not fat. He's just going ahead, trying to kill it the best he can while Ryan's driving right behind him. Fun fact, Pat's actually quite skinny. So unfortunately, he's eating noodles because he's got an E46 M3 as a drift car. Looking for some donuts here. Maybe we'll have an OMT. Both runs were untidy. Livestream crew getting all kinds of loved and appreciated back here. We're all getting chilled out and getting eaten by mosquitoes, but we're doing it for you guys. All right. If I know anything about order, if this was the last run, we should be going to the grade 8 after this top 16 bout. See a lot of people in the stands here, still out supporting what's good out in Alberta, supporting us drift racers and our cause. All right, looks like we got some cars staging up here. Well, if I know my cars, it looks like John Bernstad's up there in the starting line. I could expect possibly Connor Chura as well. There's a bit of a delay to get the results back to us here at the live stream booth, so unfortunately I cannot on point tell you who's moving on, but through our decisive loser burnout dictations we'll be able to tell you who is moving on. at this moment, it looks like we're going to be possibly sending cars in a bit here for a John Bernstad race. I believe the judges must be still delegating this last run with Ryan Drutz and Pat Fontaine. All right, now if you guys are sitting at home on a couch with like 5 people, let's go. We'll do the wave. Starting on the person on the left. Hands up in the air. Woo! Finishing on the person on the right. Good job. You guys are good sports. Looking pretty pitch black out here. Can't see anything. Shameless plugs. We got Bro-Am coming up August 17. Come on out. That's a Thursday. Things will be happening from about 5:30 till 10. If we're lucky, be able to see much driving. It's not a practice. It's more of the amateur competition for the series that was much neglected for 2 years. Now back. We should be seeing more rounds. There's only 3 rounds this year. So with the turnout of drivers we've had, with ranging from 19 to 22-ish drivers, I believe, it's looking really promising for next year for more rounds. So all you amateur boys at home listening to this, make sure you keep coming out. Show your numbers so we have more rounds for next year. People are delegating hard. Beautiful night tonight. Not much wind blowing. Pretty still. Blowing a smooth, probably 7 kilometers west. Here we go. We got some cars moving. Attention, attention. Here we go. We got a loud rotary. Could be Conroy. There we go. We're back into top 8 now. Conroy Ganson. This is the first run of top 8. Conroy versus Jason Delahy. Jason running a bit wide. Conroy on that line that gets him around that sweeper like a champ. Conroy finishing off the run. Look at all that tire smoke. This was the first run of the Great 8. Conroy Ganson, Zestino Tires FTRX7, laying shot for Cruisin' Motorsports, built by Conroy himself, helping out the team, getting the cars going. And we got AFR built Jason Delahy in this beautiful RX. Nope, never mind, that's not an RX. That's an R32 with an LSX. Here we go, live with the replay. You can see Conroy coming around that hairpin, navigating it very smoothly, getting to that touch and go area on the grass. Jason a little wide, will bugger up his run later on, but overall, very good run from both drivers. All right, we got them staging up for their second run. Will be Jason Delahy leading Conroy Ganson in the RX-7. It's easy to confuse these RX-7s because they all look alike. All right. Jason with the e-brake entry on the wall, coming really close around the tires, spinning around, looking straight, dead eyes into Conroy, saying, "I should have not spotted." See if we can get you a replay here so we can see what exactly went wrong. But if I'm any kind of judge, I'd have to say this run goes to Conroy. We'll be moving to the best 4. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching this on your Saturday night and not going out to the bar and getting smashed. Or maybe you were at the bar getting smashed and you're still watching it, so it doesn't matter, and I appreciate it regardless. Jason Delahy with a strong e-brake pull, understeer, coming around the corner, almost clipping the tires. It's just a bad run right from the get-go, it seems. Maybe he's battling with some issues. Conroy playing the safe card and just stopping. Yeah. They look very beautiful. You can see the damage on the back of Delahy's car. That was from his previous backing into the wall. Next up, let's see if we can play the guessing game. Who will be up here? Both have brake lights, which they're supposed to, so still on pretty hard to tell. Sounds like engines are moving. Or they're doing something. Let's see what they're doing indeed. Things are getting kind of crazy here in the live stream booth. People are losing clothing. All in good favor. Good taste. All right, here we go. We got some cars moving. We got John Bernstad, Aaron Day, navigating the hairpin quite smoothly. Both drivers coming around the Manji into the follow-through. Very good. Aaron Day with a bit of a gap. Man, those RX-7s, they just fly when they hit those mad RPMs. All the power is at the top end. And if you ever need anything built, make sure you go see the boys. For cruising, making these motors run. We got a slow-mo up for you guys here in a sec. Here we go. You can see John Bernstad with initiation, feinting it in, coming up against the concrete. Aaron Day is a little behind. You'd like to see him try and get up there a little closer. But it's anybody's game coming up that upwards hairpin. It's kind of tricky to navigate sometimes. It's almost blind. There we go. Boys are coming back. All right. Here we go. John Bernstad in the Zestino tires for Cruising Lang Shop FDRX7 up against Aaron Day, who is now leading in his Triple S Motorsports 2JZ Power S14.5. Laying it up against the wall real nice. Putting up a super good run. Oh, it looks like John missed a gear, giving Aaron the lead he needs to be able to move on. Aaron with a very good lead run. Be a very high qualifying run. John, unfortunately, popping out of gear, it sounds like. Shooting some fire. At least he did it looking cool. Feels like wind's picking up out here. And maybe the jet's over top. Who really knows? I'm not a weatherman. I am just your commentator for this evening. There we go. We got Aaron Day with a nice initiation, running that wall real tight, getting that proper line right up against on the hairpin here against the tires. You can see the fire, backfire from the RX-7 unfortunately stalling out due to definite gear change issues, but you can still see Aaron down there initiating against their beautiful run. Textbook. Next up for our grade 8. Who could it be? Sounds like a V8. Could it be a V8? Post your guesses at home. Who's up? Thanks again for everybody tuning into the live stream. Getting to be close here to midnight at some point. It's probably going to be a midnight finish race. All-nighters, us drifters. Here we go. Here we got Norm Burwash leading. Ryan Gertzma. Ryan coming close to that wall. Norman picking the good line. Extending his drift. Ryan trying to do what he can to get up there. A bit of a gap forming. Norman is a seasoned driver. He knows how to navigate these courses very well. Ryan Gertzma is also very consistent. He's done very good in the amateur series. Finally moving up to the Pro-Am division. Here we go. We got a replay here for you guys. You can see Norm Burwash coming in, looking at the wall, then flicking at the wall. You can see Ryan Gertzma coming pretty close to that wall there. Them following through the hairpin, coming out. Both in ideal lines to be able to mangy to the next sweeper. Fairly good runs by both drivers. Ryan getting closer to the concrete. Oh, that's crazy. I'm looking at the replay here. Ryan's so close to that wall. We're just looking at it again. He must have left some red paint on that gray concrete. You hear some cheers. I mean, somebody won. Perhaps one more time. Who knows? Maybe Norman. Maybe Ryan. Doing good on our viewer count. Let's get some more. Come on. Tell your friends to keep watching. Tell them to plug in. Get the old jack going. Get in there. Tell the people if somebody's trying to get in and watch their live stream, they go on Facebook, go on Spec-D, and they can watch the live stream on there. Judges taking a minute here to make their calls. We'll find out here in a second who moves on. With 2 more rounds left. If Norman moves ahead, he'll be at a pretty good points advantage because Colin has been knocked out. So it's anybody's game. First place contention is getting made. Hopefully we can have some pretty aggressive fights here. Some soy-so battles. So that is Japanese for Tandem. For all your performance tire needs, make sure you go head on over to Zestino's Tires Canada, where they will provide you with a very affordable race tire that you will never be able to afford if it was any other tire brand, because they're amazing price for their quantity, quality, everything. Here we got Ryan in the lead. Norm Burwash chasing. We've got to straighten. Bit of a bobble by Norm. Coming through. Looks like Norm straightened. Same with Ryan. Coming to initiate into this last sweeper. Can Norm tuck up? We'll see here. Closing the gap a little bit on the exit. Norm and Ryan Gersma. Everybody at home, why don't you give a big round of applause to yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a nice slow motion replay coming at you live. There you go. You can see Ryan coming in here. He flicks it in with the e-brake. Ryan's really driving very aggressive driver, but always plays it almost just safe. Just taps the wall. Excuse me on that. Playing it too safe. I mean, too aggressive. Coming in, hitting that wall, but doesn't phase him. He's continuing around. Kind of throws him off his line a little bit. But he's still going hard. And with Norm, not too sure what to predict, so he's just following cautiously behind. Judging by the live stream playback, even though Ryan did tap the wall, it looks like his car did not suffer anything vital. Just a little scuff in the back bumper. We'll see if it's been pushed over a little bit. Once we get pictures coming through. Lots of media today. A lot of people are out here filming great videos. 403 Media is one of them. We also got Chris's car channel, Christopher Vayu. Brighton Mills. Got a lot of drivers from the amateur just coming out here showing their support to the Pro-Am guys. Got Aaron Day doing some loop-de-loops out there. Perhaps he's warming up his tires. Again, sorry I can't get you guys the proper results. We're just a little too far away over here. But when I figured it out, I'll give you what I know. Also great thanks to Kubota for their help in giving us and the track marshals and officials the ride they need to go pick up the cones our drivers so desperately want to destroy. All right, looks like we got some cars moving. Who could it be? Who could it be? We got a Chad Sager up against Pat Fontaine. Pat Fontaine with the spin. Chad Swagger finishing off his run around the sweeper. Looking real good. Banging the SR20 off his limiter. Good to always see a SR20 in the bunch again. Marco Tassoni running it. Just replaced it at Triple S Motorsports. Very good for getting him out here on time. It's nice to see the SR20 still repping, especially in this tier. There's a bunch of 6-cylinder and 8-cylinder other vehicles. It's definitely harder to navigate when you don't have the power, but if you can muster the strength, you can make that little car go, as you can see by Chad Sager. So here we got a little bit of a replay here for you. You see Chad with a strong entry, coming in, following through. Nothing out of the ordinary for him. Just another day in the office. Pat Fontaine unfortunately meeting the wall and saying hi to one of our track officials there, or media goons. Looks like we're back at it. With Pat Fontaine leading, initiating. Strong initiation, very good. Trying to get back from his last run. Going off a bit. Chad trying to do what he can to follow him the best, to mimic him. Chad getting in there on the entry of that last sweeper. We got Pat coming through with his BMW E46 AFR built rather, sorry. The boys down in Red Deer, they put together a pretty good car. I hear they have some good teamwork there. You also have the Sherwood Park Nissan boys always making sure their cars are out here looking good, having the right parts they need to do it. Here we go, we got the replay. Pat Fontaine with a strong initiation, faint drift, coming up against the wall. Saying hi to our friends there. Chad just a little bit behind, lagging, unsure from the last run, I can believe. Pat running a little bit wide. Chad doing what he can to make up the distance by running an inside line. Here we go, them coming around. All right. Okay, I just want everybody here to yell out who they think won this one. Just yell at your screen. We can hear it. Yell loud enough. All right, we got Pat Fontaine doing the loser burnout, so that means that Chad Swagger moves on. Chad and his Zestino tired Sherwood Park Nissan Parts Department sponsored S13, repping his SR20 that he unfortunately blew at the last Bro-Am, round 2. He went out for a hot run. Unfortunately, he came back with a little more than just a hot run. A little bit of a knock-knock. But he's out here full force making his way up the ladder. We'll be seeing him in the top 4. All right, we got some cars in the starting line here. Let's see, we can play the guessing game together, tell who it is by the engine noise. Okay, guys, put your comments below. All right, we see some track officials. Who do you think is running? I'll tell you what, I bet it's somebody in the grade 8. Boys going down there to maybe fix up some cones or kind of give some high fives to the drivers. These guys get really excited about this. I won't blame them. I'd be being there with them. But I'm here with you guys here tonight. Thanks to the live stream crew putting me on the mic. Tony's doing the live commentary for all the beautiful people out here today in the stands. So you're stuck with me, Michael Bourgeot. Sorry. Crazy action. Dealing with some monstrous insects over here. Coming at us. We're just live prey out here in the field. So we got some delegations going on, it appears. All right, well, so we're going to just show you guys some more slow-mo replays while you guys are waiting, because nobody likes staring into the dark. Let's see what we have up here. We're playing replay roulette. All right, this is Ryan Gertzma, followed by Colin Kostyuk. This is a nice one. Ryan got really close up to the wall, following through the hairpin. And Colin spinning out, unfortunately. Strong driver, unfortunately, but was not able to cut it against this consistent Mustang owner. All right. All right. Next up in replay roulette. We have an RX-7. Who's it driven by? I would say John Bernstad. Lucky number 7. Looks like he's just driving this one. Just taking her easy. Look at that good car. Just take a second to gaze into that. Beautiful decals. Beautiful yellow paint like Yusuke Takahashi from Initial D. I think this is the theme of these cars. Looking at more replays for you guys to fill in some time here while judges delegate and or top 4 will be announced and explaining to the people which drivers. So this is the last run we just watched. This was the run with Chad Swagger and Pat Fontaine. Pat with the beautiful transition in here. Much better than his previous run against Chad. Chad. There you go. See the boys coming through. Nice little straighten. But they're trying to get back into it. Next up for replay roulette this evening, we have, it appears, a Safiro, yes, and Chad. Ooh, that was such a close call. Let's relive that. Jesus. Wow. That was all kinds of what? Chad almost eating that concrete wall. Let's watch that again. This is never one. That's just sparking his car, Norm Burwash, when he was up against Justin. There we go. We're just doing rapid fire replay roulette. Colin Kostyuk against leading Ryan Gertzma, coming around the hairpin. Colin getting out there to a really good line. If he could only have extended that drift and not spun out the run after, he would have moved on. Chad Sager coming around. Chris Coots having a bit of trouble, it seems. Walking down memory alley here. I think memory lane's the actual term for that one. Sounds like the reason why we're not currently skidding is because there is a protest going on. But because you guys at home don't really get to experience this, we'll just keep showing you replays. go on this next replay. Who do we got? Somebody with a light bar in the middle. Looks like a Kostiuk. Ryan. There we go. Oh, that was a good drag up there. Trying to navigate. Again, it's hard to do that hairpin and assume you know where you're going, because you're not only going around a blind hairpin, but you're also going uphill, so you lose a lot of speed. So what you initially thought you'd be doing definitely gets cut down in half, because your speed really is a factor, considering you have to go and mangy this next course. So if you don't do it right, you're just not setting yourself up. We got Ryan leading Colin. There's a close follow through on that hairpin there. Not too shabby. This is the ride with Connor Chura and John Bernstad. Connor straightens after that. Goes to nope, not initiate this next one. He just drove it. So there we go. This was the Justin versus Norm battle. Norm with the straight. Justin with the straight there. It's anybody's game with all these straightens. Zoom. Well, we're hearing noise from the crowd. Maybe something's happening. Who knows? All we know is we're going to get a pulling all-nighter out here for you guys. Sitting at 11 p.m. tonight, right now, currently, and actually 11:01 if you want to be correct. Got our top four we're going through. I think we're just waiting to figure out what this challenge is from our grade 8. I believe it's a challenge against driver Conroy Ganson. Challenge against him, which means one of the drivers felt as though they had an unfair call. What you can do in this drifting series, and pretty much every other drifting series, is you can challenge it, and they take it. They take what they believe is a challenge to the judges and their concerns rather, and try and get their voices heard, so they don't just get knocked out. Because the judges, they have a lot to look at. Sometimes they can't pay attention to everything. So when their spotter calls out that there could be a discrepancy that made the other driver not move on, that's when they take the chance and they go talk with the judges. Everyone's allowed to do this. I don't know really if there is like a limit, like timeout calls, but I can't assume you can challenge every single run. That might suck. Anyways, we got some cars moving now. Wake up, guys! Wake up! All right, got Norm Burwash sliding with his teammate Chad Sager, coming around the hairpin. Swinging down the Manji section, getting to that last section. He's coming around. Those S13s, one SR powered, one V8 powered. From the same family though, being that they're both Nissans and they both work at Sherwood Nissan Parts Department. Make sure you get all your Nissan parts from there. Whether it be a drain bolt or a turbo, I'm sure these boys can hook you up. All right, let's see. We got a replay from that last run with Norm and Chad. These drivers are always great to watch because they practice together. They're more familiar driving against each other, so they can trust each other. It seems like Chad has a little bit of a straighten and understeer, pretty hard understeer it appears, trying to get his car around. Followed by Norm putting at least one tire off, maybe possibly two. It's not a very high points reduction in our series for that. Some series such as Formula Drift, where the tier of skill is much higher, that would be a much higher point deduction. But here we're going light on our drivers because everyone here is learning. Everyone out here is having fun. That's what it's all about. All right, looks like cars are moving again for the second run. Chad will be leading. Whatever his name is, Norm. That's it. All right. So Chad up against the wall. Real good run. Norm following him close. Norm's got the torque, so he's able to get up there. Let's see if he can close the gap on this follow through here. Or a sweeper, rather. Getting a little closer, but very good run. We'll see the replay here in a second of how close Chad got to that wall. Definitely people are going home leaving paint on concrete tonight. That's for sure. Which is very good. We like to see that. So you can have a nice car and wreck it too. But I mean, like, for everybody else, it's just bonus points. There we go. You can see Chad coming up against that wall, almost touching it, making the fans go crazy. Norm just doing what he can to get close to his teammate there, and those Zestino powered, sort of Zestino powered S13s. All right, we'll see who won after that. Maybe it's OMT. Maybe it's a decision. We'll find out what the judges have in store for us. We got some cheers. Tony Kosh hyping up the fans. Getting down to new lows over here due to cold temperatures. It's getting a little blowy out here. Somebody needs a jacket or so we're gonna get peed on. All right, we got the tow rig coming back into formation. We've been missing him. Hanging out over here in the back section almost, waiting for any possible casualties. Doing a great job, good response time. I think we'll keep him. Hopefully he doesn't back up into our camera. Silly Dodge drivers. Just kidding. We love Dodge drivers. And everybody else. No hate. Just a little bit. Alright, looks like we got a replay rolling in here. Here we go. We got the replay of the Dodge truck coming down the alley. Oh my gosh, what do we got going on here? Jesus. I don't know, a little lacking on the entry. Okay, here we go. We got some real drifters coming down this. We got Conroy initiating on our Aaron Day behind. Conroy the big straight and Aaron coming past him. Conroy's just frazzled, doesn't know what's going on. Aaron just plowing the rest of the course like nobody matters. There you go, finishing strong in his 2J powered SSS Motorsports built S14.5. In Japan they call that strawberry face. Wonder what happened there. Conroy Ganson with the big straighten. Let's see if we can see anything from the replay. Looks like he just stalled out. Maybe the Doritos just stopped spinning. Conroy giving up a big advantage here. This is what we need to shake up some points. Conroy, he qualified first today. Aaron hasn't seen any competition yet this series. He used to compete in Formula Drift Pro 2. We're happy to see him back home, competing with us. More the merrier, I always say. sounds like we got some cars moving. Gonna be Aaron in his strawberry-faced S14 leading the way, getting real close to the wall, real rowdy. Can you bring it around? Conroy pulls the inside line. Should guy get close up next to him, leading close. Conroy touches the wall. Conroy gets it into the wall, keeps it on the track though. What an exciting round this was. Definitely much more exciting than the last one. Thank you, Conroy, for putting down a good show for us. Not scared to get the car into danger zone. I'd have to say Aaron has the advantage on this. Moving to, depending where he qualified, could be getting a fourth, third, second, or first. Who knows? Pay attention because we'll have a final round. This is for all the marbles. You can see Aaron getting real close. Following through really nice. This is a textbook run by both drivers. Aaron coming out a little bit, on the outside portion of the track on the line. Giving John the area he needs to try and make up room. Doing what he could, and unfortunately tapping that wall and putting him back a little bit harder. But that's the way she goes. Coming in. Damn. Drifting's a great sport. Love it. And every single Thursday we come out here onto the practice pad. All the dates are listed on Spec-D's website, spec-d.ca, where you can find all the dates. And somehow, if you've never been out here, there's also a trick map that'll show you how to get here. All right. So this should be top 4. That was the first battle of top 4. That means there's another 2 drivers. And whoever wins this run, which undoubtedly can only be Aaron, will be moving to the finals against the next driver of this next heat. Whoever pulls the win out here. We still got some diehard fans in this crowd here, pulling an all-nighter with us. We're losing our shack. Who do we have up for our next pair? Any guesses? Cars are coming around. We got engines moving. Which way? Is that Loser Donuts? Oh, no, someone's warming their tires up. Must be one of the S13s. All right, we got cars going. Pay attention. We got them going. All right. Sounds like an RX-7 and an S13. Oh, getting into the dirt early. We got Conroy Ganson and Chad Sager picking a wide line. This is the battle for third. So that means that only Norm Burwash and Aaron Day remain. Who will win? Stay tuned. So we got a replay coming up here for you guys. All right, you can see the boys rolling up to the initiation cones. Conroy dropping the dirt, both on their brakes. getting a little squirrely. Conroy up against the wall. Also, Chad Sager running the wall. You can see his bumper. I think it took a little bit of that, but it's still on there. Origin Lab Canada supplying that back bumper. There you go. We got Chad Sager leading. Conroy Ganson following. It's anybody's game. Oh, but then Conroy straightens and goes off. Looks like it could be an easy victory for Chad Sager. Zestino tire smoke hitting the cameras. Now we got the replay here. We got Chad Sager in lead. Conroy Ganson doing what he can. Straightens up the hill. He gets back into it. Doing what they can. Conroy 2 tires off in the chase position with a considerable amount of gap. I don't know about you fellas, but I think I know who might be moving on. At least onto a podium. But Conroy does have number 1 position for qualifying. And I cannot quite recall at this moment if that gives him any sort of advantage on its own. But don't you worry, we'll find out for sure though. Chad qualifying 3rd. He's not too far off from that. All right, one last time, shameless plugs. We are here only because of Zestino Tires Canada, making it happen. Kubota, ATVs, and other equipment. All right, we got drivers moving. Also like to say, Short Park Nissan. The cars are out full force right now. Up against Triple S, Aaron Day, and 2J S14.5. Put on a solid run, both e-brake checking. Norm Burwash finishing off the course really good. Looking real strong up front there. It's time to nut up or shut up, as they say. One more run to make it happen. Going into the finals after this. Stay tuned, all my night owls. Got the replay happening here. We got Norm initiating e-brake drags, trying to avoid the wall. At that time, Aaron Day there realizes he has an opening, so he tries to cut on the inside because Norm goes a bit wide. And the rest is all pretty fluid by both drivers. All right, cars away, cars away. Aaron leading Norm Burwash in the V8 S13. We got awkward initiation, close contact. This is what we like. This is what we like. Come on, boys, get in there. Awesome. Look, Norm Burwash getting right in there. That's one of the closest follows around the sweeper we've seen. Awesome. Good job, boys. Bring it home. Great to see Aaron making it up to top four, considering the other previous run of rounds that he has not been able to come to due to mechanical issues. And we got the replay. Got Chad swinging in a little late, but we got Aaron on that perfect line coming around, showing him how he does it. Norm trying to tuck in, trying to get some ground. Straightens a slight bit coming up the hill. Both people are pretty good on the follow-through Manji. And there we go. So, who's moving on? One more time, I'm going to remind you guys, coming up in order here, this Thursday is not an open practice. It's, in fact, round 3 of the Bro-Am competition where everyone's throwing down what they got in a 1-versus-1 run. And then after that, on the 19th, we have Driven, where you'll have the Spec-D booth in the basement of McEwen in the Parkade. It should be a good time. Come and see me, give me a high five, tell me if I did a good job on the mic today. I'll be in there with my shitty BMW. Make sure you check it out and put a scratch on it or something. Put your name in it. I won't mind. There we go. We got the drag truck going down the alley again. Looking to make an initiation. He's going the wrong way, though. And then, of course, Drift for the Kids, August 20th. If you want a car weekend, this weekend coming up is the weekend for you. Oh, jeez. Yeah, now we got lit up over here now. We got lights, finally. August 20th. That is the 12 to 4. Drift for the Kids out at Edmonton International Raceway. It's a good time. They've had a few outings there now where these drivers just go out and put on a good show for the kids out there and any spectators that would like to come see what we do. Who is the winner? We don't know, but we'll find out shortly. We got some cheers going on. That means somebody won. What you? Or somebody won something at least. I got names here. It's still on. Maybe I can yell at people to tell me who won. Winner. Thank you again to everybody at home paying attention to this live stream and still hanging in there. In that order? Yeah. So first, second, third? Yeah. Wait, Darren? I don't think there's a Darren. I don't see a Darren. Yeah, there's no Darren. Oh, Aaron. Yeah. Okay, so it's in. Our first place finisher is Aaron Day. Put your hands together at home for Aaron. He did such a great job today coming out after a 2-event hiatus. Norm taking second. Chad taking second, and Norm taking second, and Chad finishing third. So it's a full Sherwood Park Nissan podium today, followed by SSS Motorsports S14.5 2J. All right, we're off. All right, and that's everything. Thanks again for coming out. We'd like to thank the sponsors: Zestino Tires Canada, Kabuto ATV Equipment, and of course Sherwood Park Nissan Parts Department. Thank you guys for paying attention. We've had a great time, and I hope you guys have had a great time as well. Good night. Michael Bourgeot signing out.